Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I want to go over the Friday, June 2nd, the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Silver Bullet Hour. This is after NFP. Non-farm payroll came out right here, and so it did its damage right there. And then we are clearly going long right here. So we're very bullish right now. So this is where it's going to start, and I'll show you what I see as it plays out. It's right there. We have the short-term low cleared right there. Alright, it's right there. I'm going to throw the fib on here. So the fib from here to here would show that this right here is the 50% line. Okay, if you move the fib from here to here, this would be your 50% line, which is pretty good still right there. And so you can pull the fib both two ways. You know, ICT does from here to here, and he also does it from here to here as your range. So we're going to look at both. I'm going to leave it here for now. And let's see what we see right here at 50%. This range being our first target here. Let's see. What do I see here? Well, right, you have that market structure shift right here because that's the swing high that took out the swing low. I see you have a fair value gap right here. I see we have an order block right there. We have a fair value gap right down here. Let me throw that on there. A fair value gap right here. So that's all in 50%. If we go from there, if we come from here, this order block is in the middle of equilibrium, so I would still count that as good. If it comes into this order block, though, I'd be taking the entry. Right there, it tapped it in right there. Let's see if we can get to halfway, or the consequent encroachment there, which is that medium equilibrium level. And we do. Okay. So our order get in right there. I'll take this long off. You see that we're got our order placed right there. Where's our draw? Our draw's right there. So right now we're at 15 handles. It's 4.29 R. Okay. Let's see how it plays out. If we get a fair value gap there, so let's see how if that gets respected or not. Okay, right there I see short-term high being taken out. If it comes into this fair value gap, I would take another trade. Right there's our entry right there. Our same target, this buy side liquidity right here. Be our same draw. Alright, so there would be our you can't really see it. I gotta take this one off here. There's our second entry right there. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. Another deeper one right there. Another potential entry if you missed the first two. Goes above this short-term high right here is where you'd break even. Maybe take a partial right there. Now it's a risk-free trade. Let's see if we get our TPs hit. Close. Right there. Right there we get our TP hit right there. On both of those, one's 15 handles, the other one is 11 handles. So pretty good right there. Now let's see. Let's keep playing on here and see if we see anything else. Oh, we do see we have a fair value gap right here. Would you take this entry if it came back in right now? If you were looking at this chart, you just got this high here. This would be a fair value gap. Would you take this entry? It's still in the silver bullet hour. Okay, so take a second, pause the video, and just look at it. Would you do this? And let me show you something else to give you some little confluence here. I'm going to go to the weekly chart. All right, so that's where you're at right now. You're in the middle of this weekly fair value gap right here. Okay, so you just cut crossing into it. We'll show you where that's at. So you know when you see the orange, you're going to see that's the weekly fair value gap. I'm also going to throw on the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap on there. Okay, so let's go back to the 1 minute. Okay, so we're back here at the 1 minute, and I asked you, would you take this fair value gap if it came back in, knowing that you're just about to enter that weekly fair value gap, and there's the consequent encroachment. So that would be your target. Would you hit it? I don't know, but that's where you would potentially see. So let's just throw on, took this right here, when we went below the first candle right there. That'd be 15 handles if we took it to that right there. Was there anything else that we can do to make this a better entry? Well, right here is a breaker block, because you've got a swing low down here, comes up, there's a swing high, comes back down, violates that swing low, comes down, and then trades up through it. Is that this candle right here, when it closed above it, it traded above it. So if it comes back down into that, that's a breaker block that we can take. So let's see what happens. If it comes into that breaker block, I'm going to take that entry, knowing that the weekly fair value gap's right there. Okay, right there's my entry. I'm taking that right there. I'm getting in right there. And this is, 2.5 to 10, and just shooting for 10. Now granted, we can go all the way up to here. I don't know if we'd get it, but 10 handles right here is 1 to 4. So I only need right here. I need right there. I need 5 handles right there to which is basically above this old high right here. So let's see how if this plays out or not. Well, let me throw this back on too. So you see that we're still in the silver bullet hour. So if I was taking this trade, I would be in this trade right now. And as soon as it hits this 5 mark, I'm taking partials right there. Probably would have hit my partials right there. If it wouldn't have, that would have filled me right there. And ideally, I'm taking it up to 10 handles, which is right here. It already got hit. Okay. Do we get consequent encroachment? I don't know if we get there or not. If you go by premium and discount, this is a high-risk trade. But if you form the narrative on a higher time frame, this is considered a lower risk trade, maybe moderate risk trade, but I still think a good trade. So just showing you, and you would have gotten out right there if you went 10 handles. But you only needed 5 right here to get 5, so it's a good trade. But that's your 3 silver bullet hour trades after NFP on June 2nd.